Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I am here today with a how-to DIY video for something that will help with your handbag. If you've ever experienced a strap, a leather strap that when you adjust it, there's like a little loose end and it flops all over the place and there's no way to hold it in place, then continue to watch because this video is for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Emily and I love handbags. I also love travel, fashion, luxury. So if you like any or all of those things, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you'll be notified of my future videos. Before I get started with today's DIY how-to video, I wanted to share some bag eye candy with you, and that is this bag. This is the one that I'm wearing for the day. This is my Senreve Mini Fortuna bag in the biscotti color, and I have had this for probably a month now. I've been using it on and off. It's one of the newer styles to my collection from Senreve. I'm a huge fan of Senreve, as you can see some bags that I have up here, but in general, this one is a new leather. It's the Toka leather, and it is very soft, supple, and smooth. So far, I have not seen too much wear, but I will give you an update on that. I'm just currently trying to get as much wear use out of it. If you would like to see my outfit videos, including what I'm wearing today, I will link it below, but also check out my Instagram at Clutch to Carry All. I will have a lot more of the outfits full length for you to see there. So stay tuned for this one. I have a little Senreve strap on it, and if you are not aware, Senreve is currently having their biannual handbag revival sale, which is where they sell a ton of handbags that are slightly blemished due to, just transit, or sometimes they take photographs with them and there's like some smudges, maybe, some small nicks. They do sell those at a fraction of the price, and that way it will, save the handbag from needing to be tossed or burned, so it could find a good home at a slightly gentler price. If you're interested in that and also saving $50 off on top of the sale price, use my link at senreve.com/Angelin, and then it'll be automatically added to your cart at checkout if your cart is over $300 or more. So I'll list that all below for more information. I don't have a date for when this sale ends, but the sooner you go and shop, the more likely you'll have, options and colors to choose from. So I would highly recommend go checking that out. I know a lot of you are interested. I've been posting this already on my Instagram. So if you don't currently follow me there, definitely do that. But if you wanted to go check it out, I think it's still running, the promotion's still running. So definitely go check out the sale, use the link for $50 off. And I believe there is a small gift with purchase of $300 or more, limited time. So use that link, and I would love to hear if you picked up anything in the comments below. All right, so moving on to this video, which is a how-to video. I have done this in the past. Actually, recently, I have done one not on YouTube, but on my Instagram Reels. I can list it down below, the link to watch it. But it's basically how I got this Longchamp bag to look more structured and less like bumpy at the bottom when you fill it in with stuff. So that, just to recap, is this Zumoni little organizer, which I'll link below if you want to take a look at Zumoni organizers. The one that I have here is, I believe, less than $40, so it's really nicely priced, but I also have an extra 20% off coupon for you. Angelin at checkout will get you 20% off of your order. That was last time's fix. This time's a fix will require you to be a little bit more crafty, but not too difficult. No sewing involved. So I would like to show you how I create a little strap loop to prevent the end of a strap from flopping around when you adjust it. This fix is generally for people who are on the shorter side because they will adjust their strap to a shorter length. And I have shown you before that you can punch extra holes in your leather straps to shorten it. However, by doing so, you now have this end piece like this that's flopping around. So you can see that if you were to wear it out, you'll see, there's an unflattering piece right here. And depending on how far you adjust the strap, it could be very long and very, very annoying like this. So in the past, I've just kind of dealt with it or try to tie a knot, but it looks weird at the same time as well. Unless you know somebody who can shorten your leather strap for you, it's probably, not the easiest to do at home. Also, if you don't want to make any adjustments because if you shorten the strap, you're definitely, you know, it's permanent. The fix that I have here is actually temporary, so you could remove it, you can add it, it's very simple. So let me just show you the little trick that I have, which is this. This is a very small leather strap piece, as you can see, and it's very simple. There is a double rivet on one end, and then there is a hole on the other end. So essentially you are just taking a leather strip like this, adding two things to it, and then wrapping it around so that it creates a loop, like so. So let me just put it on this strap right here. So as you can see, this is a strap that would have otherwise been flopping all over the place. What I'm gonna do is place it kind of near the end right here, and then I'm gonna wrap it around and then push the rivet through. So now, as you can see, you can move this around, but I usually put it all close to the end. And so if you move the strap around, it will give, but it will also move, but it'll stay in place. So it doesn't fall down because you can adjust the tightness of this. So it should work with any strap because you're creating this. So this is what we're gonna create, and I can show you how I do it. So what you need is a pair of scissors. Obviously, you're gonna need something to cut the leather with. You're gonna need some double-ended rivets. These ones are in silver, just because my bag is silver. I could also have picked, you know, gold, rose gold, whatever they have available. And I will list this below. I bought this online, so I will link it so that if you're interested, you can look into this one. I also have some leather strips right here. These are in many different colors. I have one in pink, I have a turquoise, I have a patterned one, and then I have a gray one. This is the one that I actually used. So I can show you how I do the pink one maybe, or the turquoise one. And then the last thing that you need is actually one of these guys. It's called a hole puncher for your leather. This one I actually used before when I was making a small leather good into something that I can wear by putting straps on it. If you would like to see that video, I will link it below, but that's another DIY video that I had to make your SLGs wearable. But essentially you have different holes here, and what you can do is find the hole that works and then put it into place to punch the leather. So yep, this is pretty much all you need. Again, I will list all of these materials below if you're interested in purchasing some of these. I actually purchased these leather straps a while back, so you probably won't find this particular one, but I can list other ones available. Ideally, you want to pick colors that are similar to your bag so that you, like, the strap is not very obvious, unless that's what you want, right? So like this one is pretty close to the color of the strap, this leather tab right here. So unless you want it something that is like very obvious, very, you know, almost like a statement, you can choose a different color. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is cut a leather strip. What I'm gonna do is kind of cut depending on how thick I want it. So it's essentially this part right here. It's really personal preference. I think I try to cut it obviously bigger than the size of this rivet, so that you could wrap around the rivet, but not so wide that you have extra fabric hanging about. So I have kind of measured, you know, what this rivet would look like and kind of made it so that it's just slightly wider than it. So I would, if you don't know exactly how, you know, big your leather strip you want, I would say cut it longer, because if you cut it too short, you can't shorten it afterwards. Another option is also to tie a string around your the two strips of leather where your strap and the other strap is, and then kind of figuring out what size that is, and then laying it down here to kind of get an idea. I don't have a string right here, but since I have the actual piece, I know if I just wrapped it around, it's about this long, right? So you want some overlap of your leather piece, so this is the right size. So I'm just gonna kind of follow this and cut out the piece that I want. So I am going to cut it actually slightly longer, just so that I can always trim down afterwards. You want to cut it as straight of a piece as you can, and then trim off so that it looks fairly straight and clean. So this leather piece is like this. I have this one ready to go. I'm gonna move this leather stuff out of the way. Okay, so now you have this piece. What you want to do is on one end, punch a hole through. You want to punch it pretty close to the edge right here. As you can see, it's fairly close to one end. You don't want to punch it in the middle, but you don't want to punch it too far off to the side that it falls off. I'm actually going to take out a rivet here. So there's a front and a back. So let's take out both pieces. So the front looks like a little knob. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like a little doorknob right there. It's very tiny. And then the back is like a screw. So there's like a flat head, one line across, and this one would screw into this. So I'm gonna just take one, kind of measure it, and I can see that, you know, if I put the hole right there, that would work quite well for the end of the rivet. So that's what I'm gonna do. The other thing I wanna do is to make sure the size of the rivet. So this one, I chose the 7 millimeters in diameter. So I kind of want to make sure it is the 7 millimeter diameter. Another thing I was doing was actually putting the part that screws through the leather into this. This one's too tight. I cannot move it in. So I'm gonna go up one. Yeah. So this one, it fits. It's a little tight, but it fits. Let's see this one. No, that's too tight. So this one might work. I'm gonna go, it won't push all the way in, but it's like, I can put a little bit of it in. So what I'm gonna do is try that one first. Actually, let me try this one also. Yeah, this one is good. So you don't want it too loose because it'll move around. So I'm gonna do the tighter one, and then I could if it's too tight, I can punch a looser one. So now that it's in place, what I'm gonna do is punch where I thought that position would be for the rivet to go through. So that's like right there. And then I am going to just press down. I usually like to give it like a little twist. Sometimes the leather doesn't punch all the way through because it's either too light, but I can help it by either repunching it or just cutting it off. So right now I'm gonna just repunch it. Just line it back up and repunch, and then you should have now a clean hole. If it's not clean, it's probably okay. We can easily push a hole, the rivet nail through it, and then make it clear the pathway. The side that you want facing out is where you want the doorknob of the rivet to come out. So I'm gonna push this through. It does fit, so that's nice. The nail fits through, so that was the right size. And then I'm gonna just twist this top part so that it will stay shut. So now you can see you have the rivet right here. You can take a screwdriver and hold it down and twist for making it tighter, but I think just by hand twisting, it's already fairly tight for me. So that's up to you. You don't want to damage it too much, but you can see that it's fairly stable now. So the next step is to wrap it around your intended position. So in this case, I have 2 leather pieces, and so what I'm gonna do is position it and then wrap it, and then figure out where I need the hole to be punched so that the rivet can come out. You have to be kind of careful because you don't want to punch it too loose. So again, I'm going to punch a smaller hole first, so and then see if I need to adjust it. So I'm going to kind of like make it taut and then kind of hold my finger there so that I know where I need to punch, and then again put this in here and then punch down. I think this piece of leather is actually softer than the gray one, so it's actually harder for me to punch, but I'm gonna just punch a few times at different angles so that it comes out. Okay, so there's the hole now, and you'll see that it doesn't fit because the rivet is very big. You can see that it kind of pops out, but not really. So what I like to do is actually cut a small slit to help it kind of be able to open up. So like that. So let's try this again. Maybe a slightly bigger slit. You always want to punch smaller or cut smaller, and then you can add to it. There we go. So you see how that pushed through with a little bit of slit. So now I'm just going to double check to make sure everything is correct, wrapped around. So like that. And it looks pretty good. I don't know if you can see, there is a little bit of extra fabric here, which I will cut, but before I do that, I just want to make sure it's good. So I'm holding it up. It doesn't slide down, but it's, you know, loose enough where it's not going to be stuck and I can move it. So now I'm going to cut off the excess here. Don't cut too close to the hole, because otherwise you might open the hole up for it to slide off completely. So I would say give it like 1 mm. Cut it off right there. So there we go. So now you can see that this won't come off because it's not, you know, opening up the hole, but it is not dangling out. So again, this is the strap. This is obviously not the right color, but if I wanted a bit of color, I guess I could do this. This also allows you to see the strap holder easier. So yeah, so now you can easily just pop it off like this if you don't want it. Because if you shorten the strap, then, you know, you don't need it. But if you have a longer strap, you know, like if you imagine you have more holes up here and you make it longer, you can have an even longer one. But that will, this flappiness like this won't be a problem if you have your strap holder, strap lock. So I'm gonna pull this through, push the rivet through like this. See, no longer an issue. Perfect. All right, everyone, I hope this was helpful. As you can see, it is quite easy to do. If you have all the materials, this should really only take you less than 15 minutes. It took me maybe less than 10 minutes, especially doing it the second time around. It was a lot easier. Like I said, you can pick any type of leather here and put the rivet through, and I've been actually wearing my gray one already for quite a bit, and there's been no issues. It hasn't been ripping. It hasn't been, you know, if you get a good quality leather, it will last you a long time. I would stay away from, you know, polyurethane or faux leather, because you don't want the strap to break or melt onto your leather strap. And yeah, so I love it. Look at this, and look at it without. And you have a strap that like hangs out like this. But easily pop this on, and no longer an issue, and it'll swivel according to however you want to wear it, and it won't fall off. So yes, I would love to know if you have this issue with your handbags, especially my petite gals out there, petite guys out there. If this is an issue for you, I love adjustable straps because I am short, and so I like that my handbag hangs at the right place, but I also hate it when little, you know, leather straps start flying everywhere. And yeah, so I like it neat. This is a good way to do it at home so that you don't have to go and buy another strap, or, you know, I have looked at places to buy these kind of things. They don't sell it very easily, and it's also really hard to get it colored matched to your bag. So I'm hoping that this is helpful. If you currently do not have one of these leather hole punchers, I would highly recommend it, because I've used this already in like a few arts and craft projects already, and it's not that expensive. Also, these rivets are very inexpensive, and you can definitely get it in multiple colors. But yeah, I will link everything I've used here below, or something very similar to below. If you do try this at home, I would love to hear how it worked for you, if it helped. If it did not work, what other recommendations you might have instead on how you adjust or keep your strap from flying around. Yeah, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and follow for future videos. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.